moments looking at this positioning, and I'm looking at your county seal, and we've already got our logo.
You're quick, Berkeley.
He never listens while I'm talking.
I've gotten to know them. It's true. I'm Jeff Stanford, and I've been involved with this process since the bid was passed. As you know, I was against it. It's an old story. Here I am talking about. We hit the ground running 2 years ago, and started a promotional program using Ozone and Hype House as they were combined. We didn't actually know they were separate companies until later, to get something going to have some kind of impact. I have always been advocating from the very beginning that we needed a marketing study so we have some kind of idea I don't know anything about who's going to Jan Rodriguez's place up in Willits, or as for that matter, the South Coast. How we market, who do we market to, how do we market to them? Randall was a great selection. They're funny. I like to be amused in meetings because this is the third time I've heard this presentation. But there's so much in it that they didn't even touch on. For example, I came up, and it was my fault. I take blame for it for this thing called, I thought, we're really a neat place. We're really cool. So Mendocino County, the cool wine country. Paige Poulis was all over me. How can you say cool wine country? It means all we grow is Pinot Noir. So we had to drop that. So then we came up with a concept like, wine country and so much more, because a lot of people don't even know we're wine country, and we want to make them ask questions. The phrasing that Berkeley and Judy and their staff came up with is excellent. It brings in all the components, and we're going to put that together, I hope, with Scott in the next month or two, and you're going to get that presentation, because I'll come up here with it myself. I'm now chair of the marketing committee of MCLA, but it is a very, very important concept to get people in the Bay Area and Sacramento, per mantra, to know that we are wine country. That's one thing they really don't know. They drive through it, but they don't know how extensive it is. They don't know that the oldest organic winery is here, or the most carbon neutral, or the only carbon neutral winery, Thames, is here. They don't know all that, and so we have to tell them that, and we have to tell them that we are more than that. We have the redwoods, we have the oceans, the iconic little villages, and that Willits is an iconic little village. It's not just, Mendocino or Wallala or Fort Bragg. Anyway, I thank you for your support for this. I've really been interested, as I told you, David. The statistics, the numbers aren't going to be huge, but they should point us in a direction, and the results will tell us if the direction was the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Others in the audience, please step forward. State your name for the record.
Good morning. My name is Tim Thornhill. And great job. I have a couple of slogans. One is, in God we trust, all others bring data. Another one, well, the focus I think is really important. One thing that got my attention right away was clearly a 17-to-1 return on investment. Tells me that we could probably get more than that if we invested a little more, because everything's in place. All the administration, the fulfillment. So now almost any incremental money that's added to it is added to the actual marketing itself. Agreed?
Yes.
Okay. Improve signage, maximize spring and fall, focus on San Francisco and Sacramento, and then I have one question to them. How important is it that we are the greenest wine region in our promotional effort?
I think it's very, very important that you're the greenest wine region, because we have to establish how your wine region is different. And the customer clearly said they like everything about your wine region and how it is different compared to those to the south that have a much longer established, better known name. So you're going into a competitive marketplace, and you have to say something succinctly that sets you apart. And greenest wine region goes to the core of who you are and what you are, and the fact that you're small and boutique and handcrafted, all those things that the visitor said in the survey. And you can actually read in our report, the full report, we have all the actual verbatim comments of how the visitor described your wine region, and they overwhelmingly said that they love it for what it is, and that's how we drilled down to that greenest wine region in the positioning.
Thank you. Please, others in the audience like to speak to the report.
Hello, I'm that infamous Ollis. What I wanted to talk about just briefly, Tim hit on a lot of points that I think are very important to us, but the tourism aspect is critically important as we look at the 73 wineries that we have in the county and 325 wine grape growers. And part of what we need to develop is some additional tourism-oriented infrastructure that's going to be related to the green tourism and the ag tourism here. And very shortly, you're going to be looking at other land use permits and other areas in the county for how we can develop small tasting rooms, vineyard-based campsites, or other recreational activities. And we need to be very careful in the development of our general plans all over the county that we allow for the development of critical infrastructure that will allow us to cater to visitors who very much want our unique kind of wine experience and tastings here.
Thank you, Paige. Never been
I don't want
short
to get
for
into
words,
land
Jeff.
use issues, but what she says is really important. And I'm not investing any money or doing anything. I'm in a completely different area. But it's true. You have to have the facilities. It's so hard